Well, with a lot of product going in, you would expect a lot of products coming out. So first up, obviously you're going to need to get yourself some space. So I've got a bit of space here, no problem. You're then going to need to go and get yourself a canning factory. So if you go into the PDA, if you're on Riverbend Springs anyway, we've got the canning factory just up here. Or if you want to go for that one, no problem. That's going to cost you 330 grand. If you want to put one on your actual facility, on your farm yourself, go into the construction menu and under the buildings, well, under the factories section, it's actually called Preserve Food Factory. It just depends which one you want to go for. Now, we've got this version here. Again, 330 grand, the same as the one on Riverbend Springs. We've got this one here, 36 grand. Now, to be fair, this one is, I'm saying it's a more of a cottage industry one. Yeah, something that you'd set up, like, I don't know, we'll spin it around like that. Say, like, against this building, against this shed there. You know, you chuck a few things in there. You make the odd pallet now and again, but no problem. But we're going to go for the big one. And we're going to go for that for a reason. Because you can see the icon scroll along the bottom just now. There's a lot of stuff that goes into this. I'm not being funny. I think this is the longest prep for a video that it's took me, to be fair. So we've got our pallet spawn point just there, production chain menu just there, and then round the back is going to be our loading in point just there. Now, the recipes that come into this, yeah, I don't advise doing all at once. I mean, like I'm going to do now, because there's a ton of stuff that needs to go into it. So we need to put in, if you're going to do everything, that is, carrots, chili peppers, eggs, flour, garlic, green beans, long grain rice, Napa cabbage, parsnips, peas, red beet, rice flour, spinach, and spring onion. I mean, it's yeah, some of those crops are not the quickest to get done. We'll call it that anyway. But what you can be making is your peas going into your canned peas. Your green beans are going into your jarred green beans. That's a difficult thing to say, I must admit. You then got your kimchi. Now, for that, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need Napa cabbage, garlic, spring onions, and chili peppers. We then got noodle soup, so you can use your flour and your eggs. You've got noodle soup if you're using rice, flour, and eggs. Preserved beetroot is obviously going to be your red beets. Preserved food carrots is obviously going to be your carrots, and the parsnip version is obviously going to be your parsnips. You then got rice bags, which is going to take your long grain rice. You then got rice bags rice, which is going to take your wet rice. Well, I call wet rice anyway. You then got rice bag rice, which is going to take your wet rice. You then got rice box long grain rice. Now, I'm not quite sure why you got rice bags and then rice boxes. Obviously, you know, the rice box, that's going to take your long grain rice, whereas your rice bag is going to take your wet rice. Right, no problem. And then you got your spinach in a bag. So that's the recipes you can do. Now, all these, you got cycle count, 240 a month, 240. We'll keep on going up, see if there's any difference. No, they've all got 240 cycles per month. Now, obviously, that's if you're running one recipe. If you're going to be running all these, how many you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If you're going to be running 13 recipes all at the same time, yeah, that 240 cycles per month needs to be divided by 13. Fair enough, right. So we need to get all our stuff chucked in. And I've got a few of the pallets loaded up, and I've got a load of the crop in me silo. So I'm going to get cracking with that. Right, so last batch of stuff going in. So we'll just pull over the loading in point there. We'll take the straps off. There you are. And we're ready. We're ready to get going. To be fair, this took ages for me to get all that stuff. I mean, especially the new crops like the peas, the spinach, and the green beans. Yeah, those harvesters, they don't go that quickly, I must admit. But all right, we're ready to go anyway. So we've got all our stuff in. Well, we've got some stuff in for each one. And to be fair, the actual croppage, you know, 240,000 litres for your carrots. Yeah, okay. Ones that you actually get on a pallet tend to be like just under 5,000 litres. I mean, the actual loose crop, we'll put it that way, seems to be a little bit better. But all right, fair enough. Now, We're going to get cracking with all these. So obviously, we're going to get them all going at the same time. Fair enough. Now, you do have the option. If you want the pallets to go out in front into the pallet spawn area, you're going to need to have it on storing. If you want to change that, you press X if you're on Xbox like me, and it's got change the output mode. So you can put it on selling. Now, that'll get sold off directly, but you will take a 30% hit on what you're going to be making out of it. So just bear that in mind. Or you can put it on distributing. Now, at the minute, this is the end of the run for your croppage. Yeah, you're not going to be able to put these in anything else. I mean, there may be mods coming out in the future that you might be able to use it in a different recipe, but as of recording this video, it is going to be a straight up selling job at the minute. But I'm going to leave it on storing so we get the pallets coming out the front. So we're going to make sure that they're all turned on. So just go onto it, press A so it's highlighted, and we're going to get some pallets out the front. Right, I'm going to fast forward a bit till we get some product. And there we have it, 11. It's 11 pallets here. And to be fair, I had to move one out of the way because the pallet spawn point wasn't big enough. I ain't got enough space for 10. 0 dear. Now you may be thinking, hold on, we got 13 recipes in there. Well, if we go back into the old factory menu, we've got 2 that double up. So we've got noodle soup. So you can make it with rice flour or normal flour, but it's all going to produce noodle soup. So it's going to be the same thing. And then the same down the bottom here, the rice bag, long grain rice or normal rice, wet rice, whatever you're going to call it, is going to produce the same here. It's going to produce this one, which is actually called a pallet of rice rolls. Quite sure why they're called rice bags in the shop, but well, in the production chain. But all right, fair enough. So we've got 1,000 litres on that one. We then got canned peas, 1,000 litres. We've got rice bags again, which is a little bit interesting because we got rice rolls there and then rice bags. But if we look into the actual there, we got rice bags. We then got rice bags again. It's a little bit random. That one was the first to pop out. So obviously 2 recipes. Well, these 2 here, because they had 2 recipes going into it, they're the ones that come out first. But alright, no problem. We then got this here, which is going to be your kimchi. We then got this one over here, which is your spinach bags. We then got jarred green beans. We then got preserved food beetroot. We then got rice boxes again. We got some preserved food parsnips and preserved food carrots. Now, there is one thing that you may notice as well. All these pallets, 1,000 litres. Apart from the preserved root crop, veg crop, whatever. So these 3 are actually 2,000 litres on each pallet. Alright, fair enough. So, where are we going to take these when we're done? So first up, we got the canned peas. So they're going to be sold at the farmer's market. You could rent a train and take them to Goldcrest Valley if you wanted to. Although, bearing in mind, you do need to factor in the old rent of the train cost. You can take them to the restaurant, Small Farmers Kiosk. Now, that being said, Small Farmers Kiosk, you're going to get 8 grand a pallet. That's not bad. Not bad at all. We then got the jarred green beans. So pretty much going to be taken to the same place as the peas. Although for a pallet of that, you're going to get, I don't know, 5,700 at the restaurant. 5,700 is going to be the highest price for that one. We then got the kimchi. Now, to be fair, that needed quite a few things going into it. I thought that pallet would be would fetch more profit for you, but all right, 2 grand at the most at the Small Farmers Kiosk, but all right, no worries. We've got noodle soup, so whichever one that you go for, whether you use the standard flour or the rice flour, going to give you the noodle soup, same product coming out. You're going to get, just under 5 grand? I mean, at the restaurant, 4,800 on that one. So you got your preserved food, the beetroot. Now, bearing in mind, right, so that's saying there, top price, Small Farmers Kiosk, 1,721. That's for 1,000 litres. You get 2,000 litres in the pallet. So that's, what's that, 3,400? All right, fair enough. Then we've got the preserved carrots. So same thing again. I mean, the price here, 1,744. You need to double that up because it's, obviously, it's a 2,000 litre pallet. And then the same for the parsnips. Roughly about 1,700. So double it up, 3,400 per pallet. That's not bad. To be fair, you do get a lot of product at the field when you're doing those veg crops. Then we've got the rice bags. So 4,481 at Small Farmers Kiosk. Yeah, all right, that's not bad for a pallet. Then you got the rice box as well. Wow. That's a little different. That is, so we got the rice bags, 4 grand a pallet. Rice boxes, 8 grand a pallet. When you take them to the restaurant, no, take them to the farmer's market, that's the best price, 8,400. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all indeed. And then we come down to the rice rolls, back to the sort of 4,600 pounds, euros or dollars for 1,000 litres. Now put my teeth in. Oh, that's not bad. I mean, it's not as good as the rice boxes, I must admit, but okay, fair enough. Then we'll come down to the last one, which is going to be your spinach bags. 2,388 at the farmer's market. But to be fair, you do get a lot of spinach out of the field. So, yeah, by the time you actually put the whole crop through, should be all right. But definitely that one. Rice boxes. Rice boxes indeed for the win. I mean, let's just go down and have a look. So you've got your rice box there. It's using long grain rice as well, which is arguably the easier of the rice to get out of the field because you can just use like a normal harvester. Now, that being said, a lot goes in, a lot comes out. Maybe not do it all at once, mind you. Maybe pick one and roll with it. But all right, fair enough.